So, do you remember last year, the final episode of Raw for 2012? When WWE shit all over Dolph Ziggler? I mean, they literally dumped a big vat of supposed shit all over him. Well, this year, to end 2013, the WWE, well, they just decided to shit all over their fans. Thanks. Wrestling review for Monday Night Raw, episode December 30th, 2013, the final episode of 2013. And wow, just wow. I mean, okay, first of all, I wasn't planning on making this video before the end of the year. I was going to wait till, like January 2nd to film this. But after what happened, I had to make it today. I had to make it before the end of the year. The second is I have a cold, a sore throat. So if I sound a little funky, that's why. And third, I took a week off. I wish I would have taken a fucking year off. Because what happened last night, I can't tell if I should be angry or just laugh at how fucking ridiculous this company is. But we'll get to it, okay? Let's get started with the review. To open the show, we had CM Punk and The Shield. And I will say that I liked the majority of this Raw. It was actually not too bad. So, show opens with CM Punk coming out. He calls out The Shield. And this was a pretty good little segment. It was pretty classic, face trying to dupe the heels into turning on each other stuff. Punk wants to find out who in the Shield is the strongest. That's the guy he wants to fight. Best versus the best of the Shield. And then they start a little bit of infighting. Dean Ambrose was awesome on the mic. He's just a fucking man. He just oozes a coolness factor to him when he's on the mic, performing in the ring. Good stuff. Well, we didn't get Dean Ambrose versus Punk. We got CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. And this match, whoa, it started out pretty botchy. I mean, there were two big botches. And you could tell the guys, they just were not on the same page. They seemed to be getting frustrated either with each other or with themselves. I don't know. But the second half of the match, they really kind of dialed it in. And they put on a pretty great show. Seth Rollins, he looked great in this match. He was countering everything Punk threw at him. Reigns and Ambrose, at one point, they distracted the ref to help Rollins. And it looked actually that Rollins was going to get the win. But they took too long distracting the ref. So it ended up costing Rollins the match. And then to finish, Rollins jumped from the apron on the outside, inside the ropes, over the top rope. Punk caught him in midair and gave him the fucking GTS for the 3 count. It was a pretty great match. A pretty solid way to open the show. And then they followed that up with this video package for Randy Orton where, it was a nicely put together video package, but I'd never been super hot on Randy Orton like ever. So it didn't really do much for me. Then we had the announcement from Stephanie McMahon that we're going to get Orton versus Cena as the main event at the Royal Rumble. Great. Fucking hoorah. Another Orton-Cena match. Yay. I mean, I hope they don't drag this out for months and months and months like they did years ago, man. It's be fucking awful. But here's what they did. You can tell Cena's going to win this match because they said it's a traditional match. They went out of their way. Stephanie went out of her way to basically say there'll be no excuses. Whoever wins will be the real winner, which means Cena's going to win. Then we had another video package showing the return of Batista. And I think that's pretty great stuff. They made the announcement came out over the week that I was taking time off. But he's coming back. He's going to be back at the end of January, I believe. And happy he's coming back. He was a big-name star. He has a great look to him. His mic skills aren't the best, but he can get by combined with his physique. He just looks very impressive. Not the best in ring worker, but he does have this kind of like a coolness factor to him. But overall, I'm happy Batista's coming back. Looking forward to it. Up next, we had Curtis Axel versus Dolph Ziggler. Another pretty good match. I like this match. I think I was more into this match than the crowd was, though. They didn't seem to be all that into it, but I liked it. I mean, I think Curtis Axel's a good worker. I know a lot of people shit on him. Yeah, his charisma is in the fucking dirt, man. He's just garbage on that mic and trying to come off as a cool guy, but he can wrestle, and Dolph Ziggler is always great. So I thought this was a good match. It didn't last very long, but I liked what I saw. And to finish the match, Axel was taunting Ziggler, standing over top of him. Ziggler crawled out from under his legs, jumped up from behind him, and hit the zigzag. Pretty cool stuff. He got the pinfall. Ziggler wins. Good match. Up next, we had Big E Langston versus Fandango for the Intercontinental title. And, damn, another good match. I am surprised at this point in the show. Big E's he just hits, he looks like he hits so hard. He's so impactful with his moves. And Fandango is a great worker. I mean, he looked great in this match. Both guys came off looking very good in this match. There was this really badass looking belly-to-belly overhead suplex near the end of the match that Big E delivered to Fandango. Looked pretty cool. And then Big E did win with the big ending, but Fandango did look good during the match. And overall, I really enjoyed this match. And here we are. It was nearly an hour and a half into the show. So we're about halfway through the show. And so far, I am liking pretty much everything. I think this Raw is really good. I'm surprised at how good the show is to this point. So how can you fuck up all that good? How do you ruin it? Well, the WWE, they know how to do it. We're a little bad. Bad news Barrett. Bad news for them ratings. They're gonna go down hard. He comes out with this fucking thing, like, going up into the air, and Booker T and the jobbers coming out, and yeah, Dolph Ziggler was in there too, and it's a shame doing this, but I don't know, trying to put on a party, and then Barrett banging the gavel. Oh, God. What a fucking disaster that was. Garbage. Just garbage. And then it gets a lot lower because Damien Sandow versus the Great Khali. The Great Khali. People voted for the Great Khali. That has to be impossible, right? People don't vote for the Great Khali for anything except for the person they least want to see in a match on Raw. And the match was shit. It was shit. Sandow won, but let's hope that we never, ever have to see this match again. Like, ever. We get... Oh, that Brodus Clay! He's not a part of tons of fucking shit anymore. Now he's just Brodus douchebag Clay coming out versus R-Truth. How does this match even make it onto Raw? How does it get off of the mid-card of Superstars and onto the mid-card of Raw? How is that possible? What a garbage fucking match. Get this shit off of my television, please. And you know what? I don't know what happened. I don't know if Brodus douchebag Clay destroyed my TV, that shit match between him and R-Truth, but the cable on my TV just crapped out at this point. I mean, it just took a dump. It was all garbly, and I missed a good part of the show after this. Unfortunately, I could hear it, but I could barely see it, and the audio was even cutting in and out. Not sure what was going on, but Triple H came out with his announcement. Turns out it was Brock Lesnar coming back with Paul Heyman. I know Mark Henry came out, and then Brock Lesnar attacked Mark Henry. I believe he F5'd him through the table. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see it, and I had to work today, so I didn't get to check it out, any clips online, because I wanted to make this video right away. But F5 through the table onto Mark Henry. It's a little weird that they would pair Brock Lesnar with Mark Henry. I mean, when I think of Brock Lesnar coming back and putting on this big match that's supposed to draw a lot of eyes to it, or at least a big feud, I don't see Mark Henry being that guy that's going to be that great feud that he's going to have with. I'm lost there. But I do know that Brock Lesnar basically made himself the #1 contender. Pretty sure he's going to stay the #1 contender, which means Brock Lesnar will probably be wrestling at WrestleMania for the title against John Cena. Boy, that's disappointing. That's real disappointing. But you know what? That's a video for another time. I want to move on here. We got ourselves a Divas match next. I don't know if anything happened between the Lesnar segment and the Divas match. If it did, unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to see it, but I know the Divas match was fucking garbage, and I would have skipped it anyway. Luckily, I didn't have to because my cable did it for me. But luckily, my cable came back in right before the Daniel Bryan versus Luke Harper match. So I at least got to see this main event. First, I was very happy. And then I became very sad. Alright, so here we go. Daniel Bryan versus Luke Harper. And if he wins, he has to fight Eric Rowan. And if he beats Rowan, then he gets to fight Bray Wyatt, which is what Daniel Bryan wanted. He wanted to get Bray Wyatt just to get him back for all the shit that he's put Daniel Bryan through towards the end of the year here. The way they were building it up to this point, reviewing with clips everything that's happened to Daniel Bryan because of the Wyatts over the past couple of months, it seemed like they were building to this being the closing match where Daniel Bryan would go against all three guys, beat them all, have like a feel-good end-of-the-year moment for the character, be done with this shit-fucking storyline, and then move on to being in the Royal Rumble and winning it. That would have been the smart thing to do. We're talking about the WWE here. You know, that shit, there's no smart there. Creative, get the fuck out. Alright, so Bryan and Harper. This was a pretty solid match. I was entertained throughout. The crowd was pretty jacked for this match. He had a big powerbomb off the top rope at one point from Harper to Bryan. That's always a great spot. And Bryan eventually won the match with the running knee, getting the pinfall. And then Rowan comes in, throws him into the steps and over the announce table on the outside to start his match. Then Daniel Bryan scores a roll-up victory, sneaks one out, and then he gets to face Bray Wyatt. Except not really. The match never happens. The other two Wyatts come back in, start beating the shit out of Daniel Bryan. And, well, I guess Daniel Bryan did win the match by disqualification. So Wyatt gets on the mic. He said, you know, he had enough of Daniel Bryan. He gave him a chance. Now he's going to destroy him. And then Daniel Bryan says, "You were right. You were always right. These fans, no matter how much they cheer for me, they never helped me win a match. The Authority, the Machine will never let me win a match. I might as well just join you. I'm going to join you." Takes a fucking finisher, what is it, the Sister Abigail. And then the show ends with Daniel Bryan walking backstage with the Wyatts, dick teasing the crowd that he's going to turn against the Wyatts, but he doesn't. So at first I was angry, and then I just laughed because it's pathetic. It's like a sad clown at a circus, can't do anything right. That's what the WWE is. This company, they're throwing money away with this move. They are. I mean, no, people pay to see a face Daniel Bryan, the underdog, going against impossible odds, putting on a hell of a show and pulling out a victory. They're not going to want to pay to see a heel Daniel Bryan with the Wyatts. Nobody wants to see that. I mean, I don't understand their line of thinking. I know what they're doing. He's super over, and they need to turn him heel so that Cena can remain the top guy. And they've done this dozens of times. I mean, there's dozens of examples throughout the years. But this has got to be the one that feels like the most political backstage BS, because Daniel Bryan is so hot, white hot, and they turned him heel. And they turned him heel. Why would you do that? Daniel Bryan loves the attention. He loves the fans and people cheering for him. You can just tell, he said it in interviews. He loves being so adored by the fans. You're going to turn him heel and you expect people to believe that Daniel Bryan wants this to happen? That he's going to give up on these fans? This is John Cena. This is all about John Cena. That and the fact that Triple H, Vince McMahon, they don't want Daniel Bryan being that top guy because he looks nothing like it. He has nothing going for him in the looks, in the physique, in the size. He's got none of that. They will not let it happen. They've been trying for months to deflate him, and now I think they're finally going to do it. I believe that Daniel Bryan is going to come out on Raw next week. He's going to shit all over the crowd and turn 100% against them. I totally see that happening. Maybe they'll run with the angle where Daniel Bryan like, is going to join the Wyatts to defeat them from the inside, and maybe he'll use the Wyatts to help him get to the end of the Rumble and then turn his back on them and like, reveal that he's just been, you know, dicking them over the whole time and then win the Rumble because of that. That would be a great creative angle, but the WWE creative team is neither great nor creative. So I seriously doubt that's going to happen. I believe this is an official heel turn for Daniel Bryan, and what it is the WWE turning its back on their fans, turning its back on their fucking money. This company is a dinosaur. It's a fucking fossil at this point. They are so stuck in where the present and the past that they cannot build stars for the future. I am even surprised that WWE would be this fucking stupid. It's a company refusing to build new stars again. They don't want Daniel Bryan to be the new big star. For some weird-ass fucking reason, all the Wyatts have been doing is keeping Bryan out of the title picture, and now it looks like it's going to be permanent. Unless he wins the Royal Rumble, I seriously don't see that happening. He's going to be out of that title picture forever. They're going to take all the air out of Daniel Bryan. You're going to see Cena come out sooner or later and give the same fucking speech he always gives. You got the talent, you got the heart, but you're making all the wrong decisions. All this fucking stupid bullshit that we've heard a million times before. WWE claims to be this show that's been on for years and years and years, except every fucking episode is starting to feel like a repeat. They just keep repeating the same shit. John Cena coming out and using these garbage lines on a guy that was more over than him, but they turned him heel so that Cena could say these bullshit lines to him. That's what's going to happen. You know it's going to happen. It fucking sucks. Alright. Sorry that's a little rambly. You know, I'm still sick, and actually I'm kind of feeling, I don't know, not so hot right now. But overall, giving this Raw a C+. I was ready to give it a much higher rating. Probably a B, maybe even higher, because I enjoyed the majority of the show until that ending. That ending left a bad taste in my mouth, man. It just shows how backwards and archaic this company is. And it's just ridiculous. Alright, JB Squared 61279 with a wrestling review. What'd you guys think of this Raw? You super hyped for that Daniel Bryan heel turn? You think it's the best fucking move since sliced bread? I know Triple H was probably backstage beating off vigorously to that fucking shit. Just fucking juicing all over the place. Oh, man. What a bunch of garbage. Alright, I'll see you guys in 2014.